Oh, hello there, Mitchell. I didn't see you come in today. Axel and I have been so inspired by Eames that we've been working nonstop on this project.
The original inspiration for this creation came from the Eames house of cards. With slits cut along the sides, it allows for connections to be made, and teaches the concept of juxtaposition, the very same idea that we wanted to focus on in our toy.
So Axel and I have been putting our heads together, and we thought, what better way to learn juxtaposition than to use a maze? And
So we've been creating our own mazes. We printed off a bunch of different variations, some 6x6 grids, some 4x4, but that got boring, and 8x8 got a little too complicated. In the end, we decided it would be best to use a 6x6 grid. Each one of these squares here is represented by a 3D piece that Jason will show you right now.
we handcrafted this model, and as you could tell, it's lacking in craftsmanship, but that's why we also decided that we needed to use a laser cutter for the precision. So Axel decided a stagnant puzzle was a very exciting puzzle slash maze. So what we wanted to do is create a movable puzzle that would people be able to interact over an extended period of time.
So the way we did that was with the creation of these tongue and groove pieces here. Right here you are looking at the lower level of a singular piece. In the end, it will interlock with these pieces here, and you can slide and create the maze that way. So like I said, this is the bottom piece, and Jason will show you a finished piece.
So we have a couple of finished pieces right here that kind of interlock with each other. They once we have this in a frame, you won't be able to slide them apart. They just all interlock with each other, so they'll always stay connected with each other. So we have tiles that are one direction, and we have tiles that we have designed, but we haven't had time to put them together yet. But they're on a turntable that I can actually turn.
So that way you have multiple ways that you can complete the puzzle correctly. So in order for the pieces to be able to slide and interact with each other, it's important to have this one void space here. So the 6x6 grid of 36 squares actually only has 35. And right here you have what our completed maze will look like.
So with the laser cutter, we had to plot all the squares out on AutoCAD. So we made sure everything worked together and built 3D SketchUp models and make sure everything worked together. From there, we actually put it onto laser cutter and cut all the pieces out on a 2x2 cube square.
So what you're looking at here is all the tiny little pieces that Jason and I are cutting together and gluing and interacting so that we can make this maze as well as we hope to. And each of the little holes that you're seeing in each piece is so that you can maneuver the square from the bottom. There will be a dowel rod in the center so that when you look at the top, all you're looking at is the maze.
So when we were putting up together these final pieces that we're doing our trial pieces, we noticed that we had to take great care of attention of the direction of the wood grain, because otherwise that would kind of throw off the whole puzzle if we can tell if it just makes it or breaks it. So what we had to do was we pretty much made sure all the grains were going one direction over to the other, and so yeah. Axel, you got any more?
Also, throughout the time while we've been conversating and doing all this stuff, we've talked about potential names for it, and as well as packaging. At first, I was kind of attracted to the idea of miscellany, like miscellaneous, but then Jason had a great idea calling it
Can you? Can you do it?
Can ya? That's what we're trying to find out.
And then for packaging, we've been kind of throwing out an idea of making. I have two extreme ideas. One was putting it in a nice velvet box, so it's like very, very precious gift.
Presentable.
And then the other one was a really rustic idea of putting it in like a wood crate filled with, and have it in a bed of straw, and then have it sit in there.
And the font for the wood crate could be like Fragile, except for it would say Can-ya.
So the actual name of the our toy would be stenciled in with spray paint or something. So it's just kind of like one of those pallets that you get from like a shipping yard.
And ideally, it'll become a household name just like the Rubik's Cube.
And the thing is, for our 6x6, we can always make it bigger, we can always make it smaller. But for pitching this idea as a Eames toy, we wanted to make it 6x6, a more manageable 12. So it'd be a 12 inch by 12 inch tile that we'd be able to move around.
Plus, right now, all we have the time for is just one toy, but there can be multiple variations
Mhm.
once we hire a bunch of people and we can make millions off of this idea. So, thanks for assigning us the project, and we look forward to showing you the final product next week. Later, Mitchell.
Have a good one.
I hope you enjoyed listening to us. I'm going to get back to work. Talk to you later.